But both his sons are dead. Cosby did something dirty. His real son dead and his TV son dead. I don't believe that man drowned. I don't.
Life is out here lifing, right? For me and for everybody else. But just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Like if you just take a minute to stop and take stock, I guarantee you can find at least one reason to smile. And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile. So, find a smile for yourself and be a reason for someone else to smile. That's all I got.
He goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses,
but think about what you just think about what you just said.
That's not just a phrase. It's a gut feeling millions of people had when the news of Malcolm-Jamal Warner's death hit the headlines. And now, voices like Katt Williams and Eddie Griffin are starting to echo what many were already thinking. This isn't just about a tragic accident on a beach. This is about inconsistencies, timelines that don't match, and a growing sense that the full truth about Malcolm's passing might still be under wraps. When comedians like Katt and Eddie speak out, it's never just jokes. They often speak truth laced with irony, sarcasm, and personal pain. And when both of them start circling around the same mystery, it means there's something in the air. Let's break it down, from what was reported to what doesn't make sense, to what Katt and Eddie are hinting at. Because the more we look, the more we start to ask the same question. What really happened to Malcolm-Jamal Warner?
Body benefited. Yeah. So in all of these situations, there's a business involved and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happened. Nah, no way. No way. It would be hard for a homeless guy to get into the Hollywood Bowl, let alone a homeless guy be able to rush the stage and actually.
So you're saying same for Dave Chappelle and this random homeless person.
Before we even get into the details of what happened in Costa Rica, we have to remind ourselves who we're talking about.
I don't believe that man drowned. I don't. But it ain't gonna fix shit. But nigga, it's too suspicious. They had too many different stories. Him and his daughter was out there swimming early in the morning. How come the mama wasn't there? Mm-hmm. That's number one. Number two, just so happens to be a doctor on the beach. And then his daughter was not in the water. She was on the beach watching her father swim. Somebody make it make sense to me. Now, nigga, I'm trying to figure out what they want to kill him for. He's the nicest on earth. Yeah, man. They tried to kill me a bunch of times. Nigga, you can't go nowhere till God says it's time for you to go. Y'all don't know, on the set of Malcolm and Eddie, I had a heart attack at age 27 and died for a minute and 20 seconds. And they hit me with them jumper cables. That's what I call them, nigga. Them jumper cables, nigga. Shut up! I had an instant uppercut of an afro. I was trying to choke the paramedics because they shit in the car didn't work. I'm all like, calm down, Eddie, and that nurse hit me in the ass with morphine. I don't know if y'all ever had morphine before, but this good. Broke down in sections. And I was a pile of flow.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner wasn't just some actor with a few hit roles. He was a cultural icon. The world met him as Theo Huxtable, the charming, relatable son, in one of the most groundbreaking sitcoms of all time, The Cosby Show.
We were devastated to hear that Malcolm-Jamal Warner drowned while vacationing in Costa Rica. He was just 54 years old. He first became a pop culture icon as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, and generations of Americans are feeling this loss because he was like everybody's brother.
Yeah.
He was really a great kid.
Yeah.
He was really,
A lot
really.
of kids grew up with him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I
Really?
mean, I did. I knew him well. I mean, it just, you know, it's the person who sent me the information sent me a note that said, "This is why what you all did on Friday matters." And it is something that I will impart to you all. Because our lives move so quickly and we can disappear at any second, do not let much time pass before you say to your loved ones, "Hey, I'm thinking of you," or "Hey, how you doing?" Make sure you contact somebody today and reach out. So,
I think it was also shocking just because of the place that he had in pop culture, especially for African Americans. I remember growing up and watching this family as a kid from the South Bronx Projects, watching a black doctor and a black lawyer married to each other, living in a beautiful Brooklyn townhouse. And for me, it became something that was a possibility. And that, just that depiction, I think, was an overdue corrective against these harmful stereotypes of the Black community that have existed for so very long. And he was just such a crucial part of it, especially for, I think, young Black men. I knew him also. I dated his friend. And he was always so nice to me. And didn't behave the way I thought movie stars or television stars would behave. He was very welcoming to this kind of outsider.
well, the great thing about the Huxtables was they transcended color, they transcended stereotypes, transcended everything. And that's why everyone loved them. Because they all saw their families there. So as we go to break, check out one of the many unforgettable moments he brought to the Cosby Show.
For many of us, he was a symbol of hope, a symbol of what could be. He played a role that represented intelligence, family values, and personal growth. And off camera, he stayed away from scandal, he kept his name clean, he followed a creative path that focused on integrity, art, and evolution. You didn't see him chasing clout. He was intentional about how he moved. Now put that kind of man in the middle of a mysterious drowning incident. And when the details start shifting, it's no surprise people get suspicious. When Eddie Griffin and Katt Williams speak up, it's because they recognize how rare that kind of man is in the industry. And they know that when one of those rare souls is gone, it's never just business as usual. Let's start with what was originally said. On July 20th, Malcolm-Jamal Warner reportedly drowned while swimming at Cocos Beach in Limon, Costa Rica. The first version of the story, widely repeated by news outlets, claimed that he had gone into the water with his 8-year-old daughter. A police chief named Leon stated that Warner tried to save her from a rip current. Surfers intervened and brought her to shore. He didn't make it.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner, who grew up in front of America's eyes as the affable only son Theo Huxtable on the groundbreaking Cosby Show, has died. Authorities say it was an accidental drowning. CBS's Elise Preston has been reporting out the details and joins me now from Los Angeles. Elise?
John, Malcolm-Jamal Warner died while on vacation after being swept away by a strong current at Playa de Cocos, a beach known for big surfing waves on Costa Rica's Caribbean coast. Costa Rican authorities tell CBS News Warner was swimming on the beach yesterday afternoon when he was caught by a current. Beachgoers rescued him from the water, but were not able to revive Warner on the shore. He was 54. For more than 4 decades, Warner graced television screens, his most beloved character, Theo Huxtable, in the legendary Cosby Show. For 8 years in the 1980s and early 90s, Warner played the relatable only son on the innovative sitcom, which portrayed a successful upper-middle-class Black family, the representation that captured American audiences rarely seen on screen before. Even as a teenager, Warner was known for his comedic timing and on-screen chemistry with other characters.
Is this my shirt? Is this the shirt I paid $30 for?
Now, Warner continued his career in entertainment over the years, starring in several other hit shows, even winning a Grammy in 2015 for Best Traditional R&B Performance. Tributes are pouring in tonight. Actress Tracee Ellis Ross, who played his wife on the BET sitcom Read Between the Lines, posted in a heartfelt message on Instagram, "What an actor and friend you were. Warm, gentle, present, kind, thoughtful, deep, funny, elegant. You made the world a brighter place." Warner is survived by his wife and daughter.
A tragic story, a heroic story, one that people immediately rallied around. But almost immediately things got strange. The details were emotionally powerful, but they weren't consistent. Why was this police chief the only source for the daughter being in the water? Why did no one else confirm that part? And more importantly, if he was on the scene and gave a first-hand account, why did the story change so drastically a few days later?
Shocking new details around Malcolm-Jamal Warner's passing is coming to light, including that his own 8-year-old daughter was with him at the time of his drowning. According to ABC News, they said surfers spotted the actor, best known for his role as Theo Huxtable on the hit TV sitcom The Cosby Show, and his daughter struggling and dove in to help. They said a surfer used his board to bring Warner's daughter to safety, and a volunteer lifeguard pulled Warner and another surfer to shore, where Warner was given 45 minutes of CPR, according to police. Police told ABC News on Tuesday that an autopsy on Warner has been completed. The forensic pathology department said that the autopsy confirmed that Warner's cause of death, which was described as asphyxiation by submersion and was accidental. This, of course, is new information. We had no idea that Malcolm-Jamal Warner's daughter was with him at the time, or that there were other people involved in this accident. They said both surfers survived, police said. Warner died near Cocles, a beach in Limon, Costa Rica, after getting caught by a rip current. He was only 54 years old. I also want to share with you guys this video that NBC News did from the beach where Malcolm-Jamal Warner passed away, because it's important information, especially as we go into August, which is a high travel month.
This is where the Cosby Show star Malcolm-Jamal Warner's life suddenly and shockingly ended over the weekend. You can see right now there's a red flag blowing in the wind here. That is a warning that people should not be swimming in these waters, and you can see some choppy waves out here. A source close to Warner tells NBC News that he was here with his wife and his young daughter. They were on vacation, and then on Sunday afternoon, things went horribly wrong. Authorities say that a current pulled him out to sea. People were able to get him back on land, but by then, he had no vital signs. Authorities say it appears that he died from asphyxia by submersion. So this is the beach where all this unfolded, but really, as soon as you get here, even before you get onto the beachhead, you can see some warning signs for people who are coming to enjoy the day here. It says, Corrientes de Resaca todo el año. Basically warning people there is a current here throughout the year. You can see there are warnings for surfers, there's warnings about wave conditions, and then take a look at this. This massive sign says you can survive a rip current. Clearly, they're warning people about the conditions that can develop, and unfortunately, the conditions appear to have pulled out Malcolm-Jamal Warner over the weekend. The source close to Warner says all signs point to this being a tragic accident, and now Warner's wife, according to that source, is trying to get his body back to the United States so they can prepare for a funeral.
This is the kind of shift that raises red flags. Because when official stories collapse that quickly, it makes people start to wonder if there was more effort to shape a narrative than to share the truth. Here's where it gets really strange. The Judicial Investigation Organism of Costa Rica, known as the OIJ, released a statement that didn't just tweak a few details, it told a completely different story. Their version said that Malcolm had been playing with his daughter near the shore earlier, but when the incident happened, she wasn't in the water. Instead, Malcolm entered the sea with a male friend. A powerful rip current pulled them both in. The friend escaped. Malcolm didn't. Now let that sink in. 2 reports, 2 different timelines, 2 different witnesses. One story says his daughter was in danger, the other says she was never in the water. So which is it? Did the police chief get it wrong? Or was he told to say something specific? Was the narrative adjusted to protect certain people? Or to direct public attention away from someone else entirely?
In the last 24 hours, we've learned more about the death of Malcolm-Jamal Warner, who played Theo on The Cosby Show. You know, as a family doctor and someone who grew up watching that show, this has certainly been very important to me. According to sources, People Magazine and others, Malcolm-Jamal Warner was on a family trip to Costa Rica. The Costa Rican Red Cross received a report of a water-related incident at a resort in Limon around 2:10 p.m. on Sunday. 3 ambulances were sent to the scene, and reports say that they were attending to 2 adult male patients. So Malcolm-Jamal Warner was not the only one that was attended to around this time. One patient was taken to a local Limon clinic in critical condition, and first responders performed CPR on the second person, who was identified as Malcolm-Jamal Warner. He was declared dead at the scene. This is according to the Costa Rican Red Cross. You know, when asked for further information, this is according to news sources, the Costa Rican Red Cross said that the 2 people were dragged by a water current at the beach. Both patients were actually out of the water, so Malcolm-Jamal Warner, in addition, was out of the water when paramedics arrived. This is really so tragic. And in a statement on Monday, July 21st, the Judicial Investigation Agency, OIJ, confirmed that it appears that Malcolm-Jamal Warner entered the sea and was apparently swept away by a current. Bystanders rescued him, took him to shore, where he was treated, of course, by the Red Cross. This is tragic. My heart and prayers go out to the family and friends and everyone around the world who loved him and that really impactful show that he was on.
This is the part where Katt Williams and Eddie Griffin lean in, because they've seen how Hollywood and the world around it can quietly rewrite stories when they need to.
This is incredibly sad, but also a reason to be immensely grateful. Hello, my fam, it is Perez, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and so many of us have been heartbroken over the passing of actor Malcolm-Jamal Warner. The Cosby Show alum drowned a few days ago while on vacation in Costa Rica with his family. He was just 54 years young, and his 8-year-old daughter, whom he kept very private, as well as his wife, this little girl was in the ocean with him. Local authorities, police in Costa Rica, said today that father and daughter both got caught up in a rip current. I shared with you previously that this beach is known to be very dangerous. There were no lifeguards on duty, and there were signs posted that it was very dangerous to swim there. Despite that, Malcolm-Jamal and his daughter and many others were still swimming there. After the rip current took him and his daughter, nearby surfers noticed them struggling to swim and dove in to help them. One surfer was able to get the little girl onto his board and swam her safely to shore. I wish I believed in God or miracles. I don't. That's just luck, randomness. Unfortunately, by the time bystanders got to Malcolm-Jamal, there was not much that could be done. Despite that, resuscitation efforts were made for over 45 minutes, and they were unsuccessful. It was determined that he died by asphyxiation, lack of oxygen by submersion. And while this is all so tragic, there is a second positive update. Not only was his daughter saved, but I shared with you all earlier this week that there was a second man, a 35-year-old, that also nearly drowned and was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Well, thankfully, this unidentified man is no longer in critical condition and he has been released from the hospital. And 8 years old is not too young to go to therapy. I wish that and a lifetime of healing for that little girl, his daughter. Lifting her up, lifting up his wife and all of his loved ones.
Katt Williams has made a name for himself by calling out uncomfortable truths in the entertainment world. He's no stranger to pushback. He's no stranger to being labeled difficult. But time and again, the things he says end up pointing to deeper issues that the public isn't ready to face. He hasn't spoken directly about Malcolm's death in a headline-grabbing interview yet, but people close to Katt say he's asking the same questions many of us are. Why did the story change? Why aren't there more questions being asked by the press? And why are the people closest to the incident, the unnamed friend in the water, the first responders, not coming forward?
I am tired of running for shade. And aren't you tired of being hustled and played? And aren't we all tired of crying about how hard it is to be black in America, even if it looks like we've got it made? But freedom has its limits, so here we are, tear-streaked and salt-stained faces. Traces of trauma and pain lace our DNA like our black pride is cut and laced with self-hate, and we still think it's dope. Just like the music we're programmed to celebrate. Can you tell me the fate of a people who consciously take the bait and embrace the very traits placed upon them by their captors, who by design are inclined to keep them believing they're second rates? I'll wait.
Katt has talked many times about how the entertainment industry operates like a machine that doesn't care about individuals when protecting itself. To Katt, silence around an event isn't peace, it's control. So when someone like Malcolm, respected, clean, quiet, is suddenly gone under unclear circumstances, and the machine falls silent, Katt doesn't see coincidence. He sees the same pattern. Then there's Eddie Griffin, another comedian, another truth teller, another man who's seen the inside of the industry for decades and isn't afraid to say what others won't. Eddie and Malcolm didn't always see eye to eye, especially when they worked on projects together. But that doesn't mean Eddie didn't respect him. In fact, it's often the people who had real, raw interactions with you who can tell when something doesn't feel right. Eddie has often talked about how Hollywood has two sides, the shiny surface and the part most people never get to see. When someone like Malcolm ends up gone, and the stories around his death don't match, Eddie has every reason to ask the same question we're asking. What are they not telling us?
News did break today of the untimely passing of Malcolm-Jamal Warner.
I can't believe it.
And you got your start on the Cosby Show.
Malcolm was so nice to me when I was on the show, and we had such good times together. I was probably 18, and Malcolm was probably 17, 16, I don't know.
Wow.
And we would take walks together, all of us, and pick up food, talk, played basketball, hung out on the weekends, went to parties together. He was so good to me as a person, and his mom was amazing to and I'm just sending my love to the family. Malcolm was a true great person, hilarious, smart kid, and meant a lot to America.
Eddie Griffin doesn't bite his tongue. He knows what it's like to watch peers disappear. He knows how sudden losses are often wrapped in false narratives. And he knows when people are being told to stay quiet.
Now you deal with another sad situation. Bill Cosby. How many years were you on that show?
8 years.
How old were you?
13. We started, I was 13.
You said he was a mentor to you. I knew Bill very well, interviewed him many times, spent a lot of time with him. Has this been difficult for you?
Yeah. Because when you watch someone who you know and love, go through what he's going through, it's difficult not to, not to feel something, have some kind of emotional response to, what this person is going through.
Have you spoken to him?
Yeah.
What's that been like? I mean, have you lost faith in him? Have you lost feelings for him?
No.
What are your feelings?
No, not at all. Honestly, my biggest feeling is I feel sad for, just the way this whole, just the way the whole story has come about, and when you've done so much wonderful, so many wonderful things for so much of your career, and after having had such a long path and long journey, you have something like this that you've got to contend with.
You forgive if it's true?
We'll never know. I don't think any of us will never know what the truth is. And you're talking about so many different. There's so many different aspects to there are all these stories from all these different women. Then there's this one particular case that we're talking about. So there's so many moving parts to it.
Is he blind?
Yeah, he's definitely blind. But his spirits are great.
What was he like to work with?
It was pretty incredible.
Because?
He's great with people. He has a wonderful sense of being able to set a tone on the set. So people will come to work on our show and be so surprised about the genuine, sincere liking and respect that we all had for each other amongst the cast and crew. There was always just a really great vibe, and that comes down from the top. And people would always talk about how rare that kind of energy is when you walk on, especially a hit show. You've got all these egos involved. And one thing that I learned from Mr. Cosby is he never came to work. If anyone's career warranted coming to work with a big ego, it would be his. And because he never came to work carrying that ego, one of the things that I learned early on, well, if he's not doing it, then there's no reason for me to come to work acting that way.
Think about how quickly the media moved on. Think about how no follow-up interviews were done with the friend Malcolm was in the water with. Think about how the second report rewrote the entire scenario, but no one blinked. This is what people like Katt and Eddie are trying to highlight. Not just that something happened, but that something is being kept from public view. In today's world, it's easy to distract people with a press release and a social media post, but it's a lot harder to keep people quiet when there's real emotion involved. The people who grew up with Malcolm, who saw themselves in him, who followed his life and respected his growth, they're not moving on that easily, because something about this story doesn't feel accidental. It feels managed, it feels polished, and that's never a good sign when a person is gone and the truth feels out of reach.
We were devastated to hear that Malcolm-Jamal Warner drowned while vacationing in Costa Rica. He was just 54 years old. He first became a pop culture icon as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show, and generations of Americans are feeling this loss because he was like everybody's brother.
Yeah.
He was really a great kid.
Yeah.
He was really,
a lot
really.
of kids grew up with him.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Really?
I mean, I did. I knew him well. I mean, it just, it's the person who sent me the information sent me a note that said, "This is why what you all did on Friday matters." And it is something that I will impart to you all. Because our lives move so quickly and we can disappear at any second, do not let much time pass before you say to your loved ones, "Hey, I'm thinking of you," or "Hey, how you doing?" Make sure you contact somebody today and reach out. So,
I think it was also shocking just because of the place that he had in pop culture, especially for African Americans. I remember growing up and watching this family as a kid from the South Bronx projects, watching a black doctor and a black lawyer married to each other, living in a beautiful Brooklyn townhouse. And for me, it became something that was a possibility. And that, just that depiction, I think, was an overdue corrective against these harmful stereotypes of the black community that have existed for so very long. And he was just such a crucial part of it, especially for, I think, young black men. I knew him also. I dated his friend. And he was always so nice to me. And didn't behave the way I thought movie stars or television stars would behave. He was very welcoming to this kind of outsider.
well, the great thing about the Huxtables was they transcended color, they transcended stereotypes, transcended everything. And that's why everyone loved them.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they all saw their families there.
Yes. Yeah.
So as we go to break, check out one of the many unforgettable moments he brought to The Cosby Show.
Katt Williams has been vocal for years that there's a pattern in this business. that outspoken artists, humble creatives, and those who try to live with dignity often find themselves caught up in silence they didn't ask for. And Eddie Griffin has said repeatedly that the entertainment world plays by a different set of rules. Rules that don't care about right or wrong, just influence and image. So when both of them begin circling the same story, it's not for views or clout, it's because they recognize the playbook. One story gets released, then it changed, then it disappears. No one talks, no one answers. And the truth? It quietly slips through the cracks. They've seen this before, and they're not going to let it slide.
These guys are wearing dresses. Everybody's like, oh, he keeps talking about people wearing dresses. No, it's not.
That is a weird thing.
It's not like that. Look at it from a different way. Look at it. Show me one person that ever wore a dress in Hollywood unsuccessfully. That's how you understand what a ritual is. So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information.
Malcolm-Jamal Warner didn't deserve to be remembered in confusion. He deserved clarity. He deserved honor. He deserved the truth. And right now, we're not getting that. If Katt Williams and Eddie Griffin are standing up to say something feels off, we should be listening, because they've been right before. And when they speak, it's usually from experience, not theory. We're not here to spread fear. We're here to say something about this story does not make sense. And maybe, just maybe, it's time for someone to come forward and tell the truth. What do you think really happened? Do you believe the official version, or do you feel the silence says more than the reports ever did? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.